Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's On The Social Show. This is the show where you take control and you send in questions for me to answer. Let's get straight into it because there's a few questions to go through. I'm going to start off with Twitter today. So let's start off at _Ems_DJ. If Robert Snodgrass actually wants to return to West Ham next season, should we bring him back? New management now and the chance to play in his preferred position. Plus, he's already gelled with a team. Listen, Robert Snodgrass, it didn't work out for him straight away at West Ham. On loan now at Aston Villa, having a great season for Villa. Do I think he should come back? Yeah, I think pre-season everyone deserves a second chance. New beginning to show what he can do, whether it's Moyes in charge or whether a new manager. He is a good player. It just didn't work out for him first time at West Ham. But let's hope that he comes back. But first of all, I think the chairman should bring him in and apologise to him for what they said about him earlier in the season, and hopefully they can build some bridges with him, and yeah, the new manager can have a proper look at him. Next up, at KJ059, do we come together at the end of the season and remind the board we have not forgotten and still expect, and how best to do? Yeah, I think the best thing, I mean, I know there's going to be protests and marches still planned for, I'm not sure what games for the remainder of the season, but no, I think you're right. I think they can't forget. How do we do this? I don't know. I mean, you can't really do much during pre-season because the board are not there, but I think they know how we feel. And let's see. I mean, if they go out in the summer and spend hundreds of million, you know, wishful thinking, but if they do and we improve the squad, then, you know, they've done what they said they're going to do. But listen, we'll never forget. Moving on, at Bendover255, should we park the bus against Chelsea? Listen, I watched Chelsea yesterday against Tottenham, and I think they're there for the taking. I think we can, if we play the way we did against Southampton, I don't see why we can't cause them any trouble. I'd like to, I mean, listen, if we was all offered a point now, we'd take it. So, but I don't think we should go there and park the bus. But it's a risk to go there and play football against them because, as we know, they've got good players, players that can change games. But, you know, no, I'll definitely take a point. Right, at Alf Gasparo, what will West Ham Fan TV be doing in the summer? Will there be more content and updates, or will you all have a holiday? It's a bit of both. We're still going to be doing content. Obviously, the transfer roundups. Obviously, you've got the World Cup as well, so we'll probably be doing some England stuff. And yeah, I mean, we will have a little break, but we'll still be doing bits all summer. So yeah, we won't be having that much of a holiday. But listen, it's what we do. It's what we enjoy doing. And there's some other things coming up as well. We've had meetings. There's loads of things we're trying to do to improve the channel a bit more. More content. So yeah, watch this space. Right, at Collinson_Bob. Do you think Andy Carroll will make a miracle comeback to try and bag himself an England shirt? And do you think he will be out the door this summer? I think it's a bit too late for Andy Carroll now to get in the England squad. I'll be surprised if he's back. I mean, if he is back, it's going to be for the last couple of games. Would I release him in the summer? I wouldn't release him, but if someone come in with a decent bid, like, say, 10, 15 million, then, yeah, I think we'll have to take it because, listen, I love Andy Carroll. I think he's a great player, but he's just always injured and he's costing us too much money. We've lost a lot of money on Andy Carroll, but I wouldn't release him. But as for the England squad, no, I think it's, I don't think he'll make the England squad. Right, at WHU_Law. After receiving so much criticism this season, do you think Kiate has a future in the permanent first team after his amazing showing at the weekend? Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a great player, Kiate, when he's on form. He can change games, the way he bursts from midfield. And as you said, he had a great game against Southampton on Saturday, but he has to be more consistent, like most of our players. He's a player that I'd like to see stay with the squad to fight to get in the team. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely keep him. Right. At Johnny GDC. Should João Mario sign definitely for West Ham? Also, should we move on from the hype of Reece Oxford and sign new and fresh centre-backs next season? First part, João Mario. Yeah, I'd like to see him sign for West Ham, but some of the money they're rumoured to be talking about, like 30 million, I don't think he's worth that. But if we can get a good deal on him, a cut price deal, which you know the board are going to offer, you never know. Even if we could work out another season-long loan deal for him, I think he'd be a great addition to the squad. And as you see on Saturday, he made a difference in that midfield. As for Reece Oxford, look, my feelings on Reece Oxford, I think he's been a bit overhyped for a long time. He's a good player, but yeah, the hype is a bit too much about him. He goes on loan at Reading, he don't play. He's on loan at the moment. I don't think he's getting much game time out there. So we definitely need new centre-backs. Collins ain't getting any younger. Obviously, Winston Reid has his injury troubles. Or Bono, we've got Declan Rice there. Whether we bring Burke back. But I think we definitely need to go out and sign another centre-back, a commanding leader at the back. Right, moving on. At Ben Allen 37, if David Moyes was to say, how long should his contract be and what should be our objectives for next season? Next season, hopefully in the Prem. Listen, with David Moyes, personally, I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's going to stay. If he was offered a new contract, you'd like to see him get at least 2 to 3 years to try to put his stamp on the team, on the squad, on the club. But yeah, I mean, our objectives for next season should be, listen, we've got to be aiming for top 10, top 8. You know, it depends what summer we have. We need to go out and we need to improve the squad massively. So we should be definitely looking for top 10 next season, pushing on for a European place. Right, at John T_T, would you make any changes to the squad for the Chelsea match? And if so, and if yes, who and why? Listen, I'm a firm believer in you don't change a winning team, but realistically, Stoke for me is a bigger game than Chelsea away. But a London derby, live on Sky, yeah, it's massive for the fans. You know, you always want to beat your London rivals. Obviously, and Antonio will be out, so is Fernandes fit enough to start a full game? He played the other day, coming after 7 minutes, so I'll probably bring him in for Antonio, probably set up the same. Would you bring in Hernandez, Lanzini if they're fit? It's difficult because, like I said, Stoke is a bigger game for me, but I really think that we can give Chelsea a good game on Sunday. Right, moving on now, I've got some Facebook questions. Jeffrey Desmond, do you think we can build around Declan Rice to spearhead West Ham in the near future and eventually become West Ham captain? 100%. I think he's definitely in line for a future captain of West Ham. Him and Josh Cullen, I think, as well, if he's given a chance. But Declan Rice he looks a lot older headed. You know, he's a great player, great defender. He's got that Ireland call up now. He's got man of the match on his debut. He played well on Saturday. He looks solid every time I see him. Yes, he's made a few mistakes, but he's a youngster. I remember seeing Rio Ferdinand make mistakes when he first burst into West Ham team, so it does happen. But yeah, definitely I think he could be a future captain for West Ham. And if we can tie him down to a long-term deal, because I think there'll be a few clubs, especially the bigger clubs, looking at him in the summer. Moving on now, Robert Kennedy. Where do you think our serious lack of efforts comes from in so many games? We can turn it on sometimes, but it's either an 8 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10 performance. It's just down to being inconsistent. The thing is, with us at the moment, we have a couple of good games or we have 1 or 2 good performances, and then we go 4 or 5 games, like you said, 2 out of 10. It's about our players stepping up, bigger players. Arnautovic was out of this world on Saturday, but he needs to have players like Lanzini when he comes back in, Hernandez. They all need to start stepping up. And they need to do it for these last 7 games. These last 7 games now, they have to be putting in a minimum of 8 out of 10 performances, because if not, we'll be dragged into that relegation zone and we'll get relegated. It's simple as that. Moving on now, Colin O'Toole. Couple of things. On Match of the Day, I noticed that no wore the club suit on. Declan Rice 2 on the official YouTube channel. Could that be a Moyes discipline thing? Secondly, Barry Fry in the director's box. New director of football? Question mark. No, I think, listen, if the players turn up and play like that every week, I don't care if they turn up in cocktail dresses. But no, I think it's smart. It's obviously Man City do it as well. I think a lot of clubs do it. Usually I see them turn up in tracksuits. So I don't know whether it's David Moyes has said that they've got to start wearing club suits. But as I said, as long as they perform like that every week, they can wear what they want. As for Barry Fry, I think he's just good friends of obviously Golden Sullivan and Brady, obviously from the Birmingham days. So no, I wouldn't read too much into that he's going to be our new director of football. I can't see that one happening. Moving on now to Steve Mothersole. Pards has just left West Bromwich Albion by mutual consent. Would you have him back? No, definitely not. I love Pardew when he was at West Ham. He gave us 3 great seasons, 2 playoff finals, an FA Cup final. But I just think since then, his career's sort of gone downhill. He had a little spell at Palace. He was at Newcastle. He hasn't worked out for him at West Brom. I think they won 1 game in the time he was there. I think he might have to step down a division now, go back into the Championship, find a good club down there and build his way back up. But I definitely want to have him back. Eric Bolden, how many points do you think we will get from the last few games? We've got some tough ones in there. Chelsea away on Sunday will be tough. Stoke, I'm hoping for 3 points there. I could see us getting 7, 8 points. I think we're good enough for a couple. We've got a couple more wins in there, probably a couple of draws. Like I said, we've got some big teams still to come: Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, Leicester as well, and Stoke. So no, definitely I could see us. Yeah, it's 7, 8 points. Right, Aaron Stewart. Ryan, with the current lack of bodies in the squad and ageing players and injury prone, if we stay in the Prem, how many players do you think we need to overhaul the squad in the summer? For me, it's a minimum 6, possibly 8 out of quality. Listen, we need a massive shake-up in that squad. I can see a few players leaving, but they need to bring in, and you're right, I think minimum 6 to 8 players, easy. But it depends what type of players you bring in, because if everyone wants quality, to go out and get 6 to 8 quality players, you're looking at at least a minimum of 120, 150 million. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But listen, the board have said they're going to spend. This is a massive summer for the board now. So yeah, I mean, we definitely need to improve. And the aging players, I mean, people like Collins, and they're not going to be able to play every week. So no, we definitely need to improve the squad. Right. Moving on, Martin Ford. Do you think the players we have at the club have underperformed this season, especially after that first half display on Saturday? Mario is the only real change that's half decent from the summer. Yeah, 100%. They've all underperformed this season. The big players. I mean, barring Arnautovic and probably Declan Rice, I think. And to be fair to Hernandez, when he's actually played and got a good run in the team, he's scored. But we've been let down by a lot of big players this season, and they really need to start stepping up now for these last 7 games. We've been saying this for a long time now, but they have to. Mario was a good signing in January. We needed more, but we got him, and it took him a couple of games to get in. He had a good game on Saturday, but like I said, they've got to keep performing. They've got to keep doing it every week now, because if not, we're 5 points clear of the relegation zone at the moment, but we can soon find ourselves back in there if we don't pick up more points quick. Right, Warwick Betts. Do you think the club needs a squad clear out in the summer and rebuild, or keep the current squad and add a few new signings? For me, I think there's got to be a few players that have to go, fringe players, for us to bring in. We've got to replace the players that left. Sacco left. We need a striker in. I like the squad we've got, when they're performing. I think we have got some really talented, good players. I mean, you look at Anatovic, Lanzini, Antonio when he's on form. But yeah, we definitely 100% need to add more quality. And when you add more quality, it's competition for the team. The players start stepping up and they fight for the shirt. And that's what you want, because too many players turn up on a Saturday and know they've got a squad number, I know they're starting 11 and they're straight in the team. So it's good to have a bit of healthy competition, especially if we bring quality in. Everyone ups their game. Right. Ali Sarr, seeing as the number of injuries we have with many first team players, who would you get rid of in the summer and which positions do you need to strengthen in? Also, what realistic targets can we get? P.S. Ryan, love you on post-match pint. Am I still your favourite? No, thanks for that, mate. I'm glad you enjoying me on post-match pint. But yeah, I mean, I've sort of answered these questions before, but yeah, we definitely need to improve. Who will I get rid of? It's a tough one because I don't like picking out players that I want to get rid of. I know people say people like Andy Carroll, but when he's fit, when he's fit, he's a great player to have and he offers you something different. But look, as for realistic targets, I mean, there's going to be loads of players we're linked with. And it also depends on what money we've got. We have to bring in another striker. I think we definitely have to keep hold of Hernandez if he wants to stay. Lanzini is a massive one. Declan Rice timed down to a longer contract. You've got players coming back from injuries like Obiang. These are all great players. Fernandez. I mean, we forget he's only a youngster himself. So, no, I mean, it's going to be a massive summer. If we stay up, which I'm confident we will, it's going to be probably the biggest summer in West Ham's history. There's going to be a lot of changes at the club. I think manager has changed, obviously director of football coming in, and there's going to be loads of changes in the playing staff. So, right. Moving on, Leone Burlace, do you ever feel this is more leeway towards certain teams from referees on match days? Yeah, of course, we've seen it over the years. The bigger teams, it looks like they get a lot of decisions, especially when they go against your team. But it's all swings and roundabouts. You know, we get decisions sometimes that we shouldn't have. It doesn't feel like it all the time, but yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we remember the days of Alex Ferguson in charge of United. People used to say that the referees used to favour them a lot at Old Trafford. I think they didn't concede a penalty there for about 30 years. But no, look, it's true. I do think the referees sort of sway more towards the bigger teams and certain teams. Right, Dan Smith. Do you think Lanzini will be at West Ham next season? I think Mario has been brought in to replace him. No, because Mario's only on loan, so whether they're going to pay the transfer fee for him, I mean, what they're rumoured to be, I don't think he's worth it personally from what I've seen. I'm not saying he's not a decent player. As for Lanzini, yeah, I do think he'll be there next season. I hope that he goes away and has a good World Cup. I hope he don't come back. I think we was asked this question last week. Do you think he'll do a Payet? Have a good tournament, then come have his head turned? I don't think he will. I think he's settled in London. He likes it at West Ham. But for us to keep players like Lanzini, we need to improve the squad. That's why we lost Payet, in my opinion. I know there was rumours of what happened behind the scenes with Payet, but listen, if we would have gone out and bought 6 or 7 quality players, Payet would still be here, and who knows where we would be now. But yeah, no, I still think personally Lanzini will be there next season. Right, Ben Watts. Do you think in the next 5 years West Ham are going to improve or decline? If so, where do you think we will be in 5 years' time? Well, I'm hoping we don't decline. I'm hoping that we will improve the squad. I'm hoping that we will start challenging for top 10, top 8, and then progressing every season. Attracting bigger and better players at West Ham. This obviously starts with the board and then whatever manager we've got in place. In 5 years' time, I still see us being a Premier League club. I hope to see us challenging for domestic cups like the FA Cup and League Cup. I think we should be taking them more serious. We haven't done that this season, which was disappointing. But yeah, hopefully we're still a Premier League club, because that's where you need to be in football these days. Right. Alan Saunders, Mario. Is he worth a punt, or does he need to string a few performances together before we consider a deal? Listen, like I said a little while ago, I think he's definitely worth bringing in if we can get him at the right price. From what I've seen of him, he's had a couple of good performances. I mean, Saturday was his best game for us, and he got his first goal. So let's hope now that he can kick on and hopefully get a couple more goals and like 7 more massive performances to get us up the table, get us away from the relegation zone. But yeah, if we can get him for the right price, then I'll definitely take him at West Ham. Right, Tony Kezic. Do you think the board will resign anytime soon? No, I don't think they will. We know they've publicly said that they're not going anywhere. They don't want to sell the club. So I think with the board now, I think we just need to not leave them alone. They need to hear our voices. They know, obviously, how we feel. But I just think Saturday proved that we get behind that team, we make a noise, and the players responded to it, and it was great. It felt like old West Ham again for 90 minutes on Saturday. You know, there was no balled out chance. And listen, people can do what they want before the game, protest, march, make your voices heard. But I think from now, we just have to do what we done Saturday, get behind the team for these last 7 games, which we know we will. And hopefully now the players will respond every single game. And like I said, we'll move up the table. But yeah, that's it for the questions this week. Some good questions in there this week. Yeah, so listen, as always, put your comments below. Give me your answers. Give me your thoughts on my answers. Thumbs up, thumbs down, notification bell, hit that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got so much stuff coming up. Go and watch the film videos from the weekend. Post-match point, all the fan cams, Dan's match reaction. Got loads more stuff coming up this week. So yeah, massive game on Sunday against Chelsea, London derby. Can't wait for it. We'll be there. So if you see us outside after the game, come over. We had loads of new people on fan cams this week, which is good to see. We get a lot of stick saying that we only interview the same people, but we only interview the people that want to queue up and be interviewed. So come and see us. Hopefully we'll be talking about a win. That'll be massive. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this week's edition of On The Social. I'm Ryan Archer. Come on, you Irons.